Welcome back to our in-depth playthrough of Elden Ring, ladies and gentlemen. I am your host, Let's Play Dark Souls HD, and we're going to start today's episode off here in front of a very important NPC. This is a highly prevalent quest line within the game. I believe they intentionally made it pretty difficult to miss this quest, and I think it gets thrown deliberately into your face right from the get-go, and then it gets continued right here later on in really noticeable fashion, because, I mean, this is an entire area in itself. The Three Sisters is where we are. It is right here on the map, behind the Carian Manor, but I think they throw this in your face pretty deliberately because not only is it a very cool questline, but it is interwoven into other NPCs as well. It goes beyond this one next to us. So this is Ranni. This is actually the person that we've been speaking to Roger about, and he was asking us to find her location. We found her. But this is just one of her locations, because much like Dark Souls, time is convoluted in this game, and, relations shift and obscure, all that jazz.
Oh, again we cross paths. I believe I said my name was Ranni when last we met. It pleaseth me to see Torrent hale and hearty, but tarnished. What business hast thou here? I have no memory of inking thee an invitation.
Okay, you must be Ranni the Witch behind the Knight of the Black Knives.
I see. Quite the sleuth, aren't we? Indeed, I am the witch Ranni. I stole a fragment of the Rune of Death and used it to forge the god-slaying black knives through fearsome rite. I did it all. But sadly for thee, the curse mark thou seekest is not to be found here. I have slain the body I was born into and cast it away, and it is upon that flesh the curse mark is carved.
So that is an interesting piece of dialogue. There's some pretty strange storytelling going on here about, she already mentioned some stuff that we know. We know that the Night of the Black Knives occurred. It was the death of a first god of the Golden Order, and we know about the Black Knives. We've fought multiple of them, and we know about the weapon that they used that was imbued with the Rune of Death to kill Godwin, I believe was the name. But, or was it Godfrey? No, it was Godwin, yeah. Too many people with the word God as the first half of their name. I'm just going to start calling them Rick, Free, and Win. That would be easier. But anyway, Roger was also speaking to us about this and how he's kind of researching the Rune of Death and the weapon that was used and the whole event that took place that night. And she also mentioned that she discarded the body that she used to carry out this act. So this suggests that what she's in right now is not really her primordial flesh. This isn't her actual body.
And why should I reveal that to thee? I performed the act not to bury the past, nor in shame of the deed, but all the same, thy begging compels me not a jot. The curse mark thou seekest is not here. That is all I will say. Now, be gone.
Okay, so she doesn't seem very happy with this, or the fact that we want to know this. I don't blame her. This is like, we're talking about what probably was the most important part of the shattering and the lore of this game, but, she says, thy begging doesn't compel me a jot, which is funny because the way I kind of see this happening is, I don't think our character is all too desperate to know, because, shit, we're tarnished, right? Like, we're rising to become Elden Lord. We may come across this of our own accord at one point or another. We don't really need her to tell us where it is, because we don't need her to access any portion of this game.
The curse mark thou seekest is not here. That is all I will say now.
Alright, so that is the end of her dialogue. Let me go down here and rest at this grace, and we'll take it back up, and we will see if she has anything new to say. Thank God for quick loading screens. Alright, so let's do this real quick, and then as soon as we're done... That would have been embarrassing. As soon as we're done with Ranni's dialogue, we are going to sweep back through the Carian Manor, And we're not going to spend a lot of time there. The only thing I want to do is go back and cover the NPC that I mentioned that was above the first grace we found in there. And then there's a couple items that we need to do a little bit of platforming to get to. There's little sparkles falling, man. We don't have like a... Okay. So these blue sparkles that are falling don't give you any kind of buff, similar to the extended amount of runes you get when they are gold.
The curse mark, the now.
Alright, so that's all she has to say right now. But that's okay. We are going to do a little bit more exploring through here. We're not going to spend too much time here at the Three Sisters, but we are going to spend enough time here to collect some of the items, and I think that's all we're going to do before we head back to the manor. And I never thought the day would come, but we are reaching the point where we can finally push our way into Raya Lucaria, which is pretty awesome. So there is one substantial item in this place that I definitely want to pick up. And I'm going to go to it now. So we went through there in those ruins, which, these little ruins right here in front of us, we activated a secret passage that took us into the basement that belongs to Sellen. So let's see. Here's... Thought I heard something weird. So here's more ruins. It is kind of foggy through here, and whether you played at night or during the day really doesn't do anything to help your visibility in this place. So what you need to do to find all the items scattered through this area is you just need to be thorough. That's all it takes. You just need to make sure that you're paying attention and looking in like little corners like this and stuff like that. There aren't too many items to be found here. The one item that I'm looking for in particular that can be found here that I don't want to miss is a helmet, but let's see if this door is unlocked yet. Yep, locked shut for now. So we're going to need to do some in-game events that require us to unlock that, and it's not a big deal. We don't need to get in there for right now. The only reason that we're going to need to access any of these three towers is for these quest lines. And for some reason I feel like there was a second dragon here, but I guess that's not the case. Okay, no items, it looks like. Fine with me. So the item that we want, we're going to have to activate Torrent's Billy Goat abilities and sort of platform our way up here. Well, you don't need to be on Torrent for this. Maybe I should clarify that. It's just easier. So this, the Black Wolf mask. Looks pretty familiar, doesn't it? A mask fashioned after the head of a black wolf, relic of an assassin who assumed the guise of Ranni, the witch's loyal shadow. The likeness is striking. It's Blide. It is Blide's helmet. And when I discovered that helmet, it really kind of threw me off because it started to make me think, does that mean Blide isn't actually like a half wolf? Does that mean that his wolf head is literally just the carved off head of any old wolf over the face of a man? But that's not the case. It does look really cool, I will say that. If we equip it, it's heavy. 5.9. That's heavy as shit. And it looks great, but we're not going to wear it. It's a little too heavy. It won't over-encumber us, but it's just not worth sacrificing that much of our equip load to a helmet. I want to pick up this Arteria Leaf. And let's just kind of like wander our way through these ruins and just make sure that there's nothing we're missing. Nothing. Alright, that should be most of what's here, so let's do this, shall we? This is the boss room, Grace. And I think we're going to want to start here at the manor upper level. Maybe. Actually, no. Let's start at the lower level. Because this isn't going to take too long. There's only a couple items I know of that I have in mind that I want to get to. That being one of them. But the way we're going to get to this NPC is actually through that ladder right there. You can see it. And the way we're going to get to that ladder, I'll point it out to you real quick. So we need to get all the way up to there. And I believe the way we're going to need to do that is we're going to need to scale from up there. But before we do that, there was one particular item that could be seen. Here, let me put the twin blade on. It seemed significantly more effective against these ghost guys. Are you serious? I shouldn't be alive. That's right through my skull. Jeez. Oh, that was my shadow over there. Do you see that? I thought that was like a shadowy knight waiting, like an enemy that I wasn't aware of. That scared the crap out of me. I thought for sure I was screwed. These blue sparkles, man, they're... very interesting. I'm going to use the Baldekin's Blessing because we currently have lack of HP. We lost 5% of our HP carrying that. Not that that's a big deal. Like, 5% isn't going to make a difference for these guys. They're not going to beat me. Hyper armor. I love this weapon art, man. Like, holy crap. It's so good. Okay. The Cuckoo Surcoat. Alright. Let me see. Where is it? So, you will recall that I pointed it out as we were following the main path to get up to where we were, which... it's kind of dark. It's making it slightly irritating to try to locate what I'm talking about, but... nice try. It's making it slightly annoying to locate the item I'm talking about, but it was on like a bridge. Similar to what we're on right now. It was on one of these, but it was at the very top of the hill when we got to the very last big hand. He barely was able to block that fast enough, man, I tell you. So let's see if our crossbow is as good as his, shall we? Shooting him is enough to piss him off, I think. Alright. Now, once we get up here, it'll probably be a little bit easier to see what I'm talking about. Okay, nobody behind us. No! Wow. What a way to start the episode. Man, I do not know what it is about being in this place, but for some reason I feel like I cannot play this game at all when I'm in this dump. Here, let's do this. Let's give ourselves a little bit of a boost. Just to make things easier. And this thing, I don't care if it's not the best weapon. It's the best weapon for me to use. No, no. Yeah, this thing does plenty good. It's perfect for me. Can't get behind this. Man! Don't you throw anything at me. God, soon as those guys start throwing that stupid shit at me, that's when it gets hairy. Only then. Alright, let's go get our stuff. He should pop up, right? There we go. Use these iframes so we don't have to worry about these bolts. That's it. It was me. That deck actually did okay damage to him. Wow. I was mainly using it to break their guard, but... Go. A little bit of yankage. I think the rune arc is all we needed in order to get to a point where we can kill these guys in one hit with our guard counter. Just get better damage overall. Lame. Lame. Alright, so let's take a look around without falling down. We'll go around this side too, just to get the maximum visual. Man, fuck that Iron Virgin. Like, seriously, that thing, that bullshit that thing did to me in the last episode, teaming up against me with the hands. Like, are you serious? That was dirty. Okay, so that is one item. I wonder what that means. Like, what is that? What is happening with those things? Like, there's a short sword stuck in the ground, and then it fires like a soul spear straight up. I wonder what, like, what? I don't know. Okay, so I'm not seeing any items that we missed from this point. But I'm thinking that the one I'm talking about that I had pointed out on the way up the hill was probably, as a matter of fact, it was that one right there. Because this is the spot we walked through when I looked up and saw it and was like, hey, we're definitely going to have to get that. So it was right here on this sort of busted walkway. So that one we don't have to worry about. Yes, I'm sorry, it took me running through here dying and looking like a complete fool in order to come to that conclusion. But, yeah, that was how we got to it. Was right here, I believe. We just jumped down. That was it. And it was right there. Great. Okay, so now what we need to do is we need to work our way towards getting up there. Because we're not going to need to go down that way for anything. So let's go back over here. And then we already got the item that was on this busted walkway over here too. We got that via dropping down. I wonder. I've never tried to walk back here. There's nothing. Okay. Good. I'm telling you, man, wait till we get into, like, Caelid. Like, once we start going that way, oh my goodness, you'll see there's going to be platforms galore. It's going to be a lot of fun. Except it won't at all. Alright, we came from here, and that walkway over there is, I remember that's where we got our chest in the last episode, one of them at least. I always think there's going to be like a hidden wall in here somewhere, but I'm always wrong. Okay, so let's do this. Let's rest. We're carrying quite a few runes, so I'll get a level here. Yeah, we can level up at least once. Okay, I say we go with... Let's get some mind. We're going to need it. What's my FP? 105? Great. That means we're going to be able to use my bodyguard soon. Well, he needs 124, but... Okay, Royal Moongazing Grounds. Let's get up here to the highest vantage point we can. And let's do this. We'll run up here. There's nothing to stand on up here for us to be able to see anything, so maybe this isn't the spot to do this. Okay, let's go over here. So what we want to do is, let's see. Alright, let's go around the Three Sisters and let's see if we can drop down that way. I think that's ideally what we're going to want to try to do. Can't use Torrent in here, may as well pick our butt. Ooh, a Firefly. Okay. And being that it is morning right now, this is about the best the visibility is going to get in this place. So let's do this. Let's run around the cliffside here. And let's find an ideal spot to drop off. I guess it'd be just right here. Now, well, hi there. Alright. He did not need to die. I feel kind of bad about that, but... And then Celibus's Rise. That's what this is. This is where we found Blide's Mask. We cannot go in there either. Well, we're going to need to access that spot for Celibus's questline. And he's kind of a douche, so... Alright, we're going to hop off Torrent because we're going to get kicked off of Torrent anyway, because you can't access Torrent while you're inside of a dungeon, and this area is considered a legacy dungeon, so we wouldn't be able to use Torrent to drop down for this part anyway. We're just going to have to use our own legs. Make sure there's no items before we drop down, because we don't want to have to go back and run around to pick it up again. Okay, and then no other spot to drop. Just hit the ground. No damage. Good deal. So here's the spot that I was mentioning with the ladder. Before we do that, let's actually do this. Actually, hold on. Let's be a little more thorough than that. Let's explore a little bit. Make sure there's no spots where we can jump over the ledges to get some items. Anytime I see piles of rubble like this elevated off the ground, it suggests that you can jump up on the castle wall like this. And if they allow you to jump onto the wall, that's a dead giveaway that there could be something there that's worth doing that for. So, you know, we may as well get this first, since this is the only thing down here. Now, somebody had mentioned to me in the comments of the previous video that they found this guy dead, surrounded by people, which I've never had that happen in my game, so I can't really provide any insight on that.
Oh, you? Sorry, Your Worship. I apologize for any offense given. I am Pidia, servant to the Carian royal family. I am charged with maintaining these ghastly doors. Ah, Your Worship, allow me to be of use. Other than the puppets, there are some very fine things up here in this storeroom. Why not pick something out before you go? But please, can you offer poor ill-starred Pidia a little something by way of compensation?
Okay, and then he becomes a merchant, so you can purchase things from him. This here is what you want from him. You get cold bone arrow fletched, and the cold bone bolt. So this allows you to make freezing ammunition, which is pretty damn important. But he also has a ritual pot, and we know how valuable those are. So we're for sure going to get the ritual pot. This ripple blade is what's used by the Albinarics that look like human frogs out on the lake in Liurnia. If you recognize it, they do the cartwheel attacks at you. This unique weapon wielded by young albinarics, this sword is modeled after the ripples that are thought to be the origin of their species. Its attack power is greatly enhanced with one's arcane attribute, and it is. So this is considered an axe, like a regular one-handed axe. But it scales with an A in arcane, and it's pretty good, if we're being honest. It's just flat physical damage, but that damage that you do is enhanced by your arcane stat. It can be pretty good damage. And it doesn't seem like it because its physical damage is like 70, right? Its base damage is low, but it's just a regular hand axe, so it moves pretty quick. I mean, you can do good damage with it. And then there's this black leather shield, which is round shield covered in black leather. On the larger side for a medium-sized shield. From the north, this shield depicts the polar star and rivets of gold. The inside is lined with fur, protecting the carrier from frost. So this thing should block more frost damage. It should, in theory. It doesn't seem like it because the magic block on it is only 45, and that's what frostbite damage is in this game. It's considered like a magic damage. It's got low stability, so yeah, I'm not a fan of it. But let's do this at least for ourselves. Let's get the cookbook, and then this, the weathered map. A simple, badly weathered map, left discarded and forgotten for some time. Further details are available only to paying customers. You've piqued my interest. And then he sells an Ash of War, the Carian Retaliation. This allows you to deflect magic attacks. Swing the shield to dispel incoming sorceries and incantations, transforming the magic into retaliatory glint blades. Can also be used in the same way as regular parry. So you can parry physical attacks with this ability, but on the other hand, if you parry magic attacks, they turn into your own weapon and go back towards the enemy. It's not as good as Golden Retaliation, like, it's nowhere near as good as that, but it's still good. I mean, I would say it's pretty useful if you're going through Ray Lucaria, but you guys know me. I really like my Barricade Shield. And then they sell some regular, like, this is important because it helps you respec your stats, but these are like upgrade materials. And then this guy will allow you to wash away your sins at the Church of Vows with the Turtle Pope.
Please.
Okay, so there's no talk option for him or anything like that. And then there's nothing else really over here. We can't attack at all in here because this is like a non-hostile spot. But I think that's good. Spellbreak Tried Liver. Okay, that would have been great against the boss. Yeah, had you been able to access it before him or her. I don't know, like Loretta. I'm not going to lie, man. Like, I didn't see any characteristics being given away that Loretta may have been a woman knight there. Like, they're spectral in nature, so you really can't see like skin or the rest of their body or anything. So to me, Loretta looked kind of like the tree sentinel, who, I don't know, I guess we all assume is male, but I don't know, like, it has me, that boss has me questioning it now. Like, is Loretta a woman of knighthood? Because that's pretty badass if so. Okay, and then nothing down there, so we don't have to waste our time dropping down. Forever thankful for free camera control in these games. We are going to want to go down there, I believe, though. Quite possibly? I don't see an item, but... Okay, and then that would be the normal way to go. Alright, so yeah, let's drop down where it makes sense, shall we? Okay, and I suppose it doesn't matter where we drop down. It's not like we're going to change the amount of damage we take based on where we drop. It looks bad no matter what. Alright, let's do it. No damage, wow. Okay, nothing hidden over here. That's strange. Why is this corner glowing blue? It's just weird. Aha! There we go. And a slumbering egg. 3 of them. So that's the item that you can smack the owls to get regularly, if you can see them on the cliff sides. And then we got this big crab up here. Let's not be stupid around this crab, but at the same time, let's also experiment and see if the crab is truly not hostile. We can lock on. That suggests that it's hostile. I know I'm gonna regret this, but... Okay, here we go. Are you not hostile? Hee! You are hostile! And you shoot frickin' ice. That means these will do well against you. Alright. Don't believe everything you read on the wiki, folks. Stone sword key. We got some eggs and a strip of white flesh. So, alright. We got ourselves another stone sword key, as well as some breakfast. I don't know if you guys like seafood. I don't know who all watching is a big fan of seafood, but like I am a huge seafood eater. I eat a ton of seafood. I think it's great. It's like my favorite. The resting place of the contemptible cuckoos lost in the siege of Carian Manor. Very interesting. So that tells us a little bit more about the story as far as the civil war that broke out here in the Carian Manor. So you had the Carian royals, who were part of like the royal bloodline and the main family, and then you had the cuckoo warriors, who the knights and the soldiers who must have sieged and attacked them and broke out into a civil war in this place. And then you will also notice we don't have the crazy magic attack that's raining down on us because we have defeated the boss, who was the source of that. Great. So I would say that looks to be all of Carian Manor. So we have our teleporter up to Ranni's Rise once we're to the point in the story where we're able to get her to move forward in her dialogue. We'll get a little bit more involved with E.G. and Blyde, and then we will also get Sellen. So let's see. I did a little bit of reviewing of the map before I started this episode, and I'm trying to think if anything stood out to me, like missing spots anywhere. There was one other spot after we completed this place that we needed to go to. And where that is slips my mind a little bit, because, forgive me, bouncing back and forth between this and Salt and Sacrifice has probably not been, like, you know, the smartest thing to do, but I'm just, Town North. This should be where Deathrite Bird is, I think. Or maybe this one. Let's go to this one first. That's something that we need to handle. We need to fight Deathrite Bird because I said I wanted to completely clear Liurnia of the Lakes before we set foot into Caria. And nope, not level up. We want to pass time. Let's wait until nightfall. And then one thing I want to try out when we get this Death Bird to spawn, if this is the right spot. I'm pretty sure if we run out into like this body of water, that's where Death Bird should show up. We're going to have to double check. Yeah, I think it should be this way. Somebody had brought up in the comments that apparently these are really good against Death Bird. So we haven't had an opportunity to use them against regular Death Bird, which is what they had mentioned in the comments. This person said regular Death Bird gets melted by holy water pots, but I'm curious, man. I want to see if Deathrite Bird gets melted by these holy water pots. So let's run out into the water and see if we can get Deathrite Bird to spawn. We have another wandering mausoleum over here. Tell you what, that would be kind of cool if you could lure a boss like Deathbird over to a wandering mausoleum and just watch it get pancaked. That'd be kind of funny. Alright, come on. Got jellyfish over there glowing up. Okay, Okay, maybe Deathbird shows up over here in this body of water. I know it's like right next to the gate town. It's literally right here somewhere. Where are you, you son of a bitch? What the hell? There we go. Whoa! I missed. Okay, so Deathbird's homing attacks, they're bad. Oh, heal. We have holy on our weapon, so I feel like it's not such a problem. I had no idea that was so effective. Are you... Whoa. All right. So, here's what we're going to do about that. We're going to stay on Torrent. That was pretty, that was not very smart. So, let's use Torrent to our benefit, right? So, yeah, this probably needs to be enlightened on a little bit more, or elaborated on a little bit more, I should say. Deathrite Bird is not the same as Deathbird. They, I guess, I don't know, we're going to need as many of these as possible because my aim sucks. No, we're 100% going to take another shot at that. I wonder if healing also will damage Deathbird. It's probably worth experimenting to find out, but a Deathrite Bird is not the same. Their attacks are fundamentally the same. Their design from ground up is the same from its base, but as you saw, their attacks are not the same. Deathrite Bird has frostbite, does magic damage, and that big magic stick that he has is no joke. Come on down. Holy crap, man. Except he moves a lot. Oh my god. That explosion is bad. And then that wind scar attack. The way I fight Deathbird if I'm not on Torrent is I usually jump over the wind scar attack. And because Torrent can do like the double jump, you see, it's easy to get away from. Oh my god, come on. He's one hit away. Don't make me cheese him with a freaking lightning bolt. I will. Are you serious? Okay, this attack is bad. Like, you have to run like freaking hell to get away from this. Not good. Alright, come here, Deathbird. Let's finish this. Oh, come on. There we go. Okay, and this one gives you significantly more runes than regular Deathbird. For good reason, he's not as easy. He gets 7,800 from that guy. And the Ancient Death Rancor, which is an incantation, or not an incantation, it is a sorcery, not an incantation. This is an intelligence-based spell. It's the same as what we had before, the Rancor Call. We didn't get this from a Deathbird, but we do get this one from the Deathbird. And this is similar to the attack that you saw him casting. Not the second one with all the the feather needles that strike the ground from above. This is similar to his very first homing attack that we were able to just swerve and get out of the way of using Torrent's agility. Alright, so I wanted to do that. Let me take one more sweep of the map here just to make sure we're not missing anything. Based on the visuals, it doesn't look like we this. We didn't do the study hall, which, granted, we can't finish the study hall anyway. I mean, we're going to hit a point in there where we can't go any further because we don't have the special globe item, but that requires, down here in Limgrave, that requires Sellen to go forward with. She's over here. We haven't talked to her in a minute, so maybe it would be worthwhile to visit her before we proceed into the academy, because Selvis is going to be required to get her dialogue to go forward.
There you are, my apprentice. Shall we commence the lesson? Is that a scroll? Takes me back to my academy days. Very well. This is sorcery with which I'm not entirely unfamiliar. I'll be sure to incorporate it into one of your lessons. Never lose that inquisitive spirit, my apprentice.
Okay, and then what we got from her is we got Glintblade Phalanx, and then the Carian Slicer. These two are particularly effective sorceries for people who aren't afraid to get close with their sorcery. So you have things like Glintstone Stars, and then you have like Glintstone Pebble, and some of these, like the other Glintstone abilities, are meant to try to melt your enemy from far away. And then you have these Glintblade Phalanx, which is requires the enemy to get kind of close to you. And then you have these type of sorceries. These Carian sorceries, I have noticed, are just a lot more up close and personal. If you compare some of these Carian sorceries to your Glintblade ones, like these, you will notice that the Carian sorcerers are not afraid to get up close and slice their enemy to pieces using magic. It's pretty cool. So, okay, that was all we had for her. That means, well, it looks like we're ready. Like, we really are ready to head into Raya Lucaria, I think. And that's crazy to think about, too, because this is going to be, like, one of our biggest dungeons, and it's going to have one of our most important bosses. We're going to find a Shardbearer in here. This is exciting stuff, man. So, I will say, up front, I really enjoy this level, and what that means for you guys is you're going to have to watch me sightsee and stare at stuff and appreciate things that probably don't need as much attention as they're getting. But I just am, so let me run through here real quick. I know there's stuff we want to find here, so check this out. You see this? Be summoned to assist Yura, Hunter of Bloody Fingers. We are going to do that in just a second before I end the video, but let me run out here and get this seed real quick. This is something we don't want to miss. And then another important thing we're going to do is, a lot of you have not let me live it down, which is fine. It's for good reason. Me running around like a dumb shit trying to find the merchant who sells the sleeping arrows. We're going to go do that as well, which is down the separate path right there. We're going to run down that wall. And those are going to be an important part of experimenting. So let's assist Yura, the Hunter of Bloody Fingers. This is an event that I didn't find until my second time coming through here. So take a look at this guy he's fighting. Pretty cool. It's like a Lane the Crow type armor. And do a little bit of roastage. Yura does pretty good damage and can kind of tank this guy, but the Raven Mount Assassin is what they're called. So Yura is done for. Not a problem for us. We're gonna beat this guy. He's kind of a clown. Oh, what's wrong? You're out? Oh shit, oh shit. I say we're gonna beat him. Don't get rid of my bubble. Alright. Well, that didn't work out the way I wanted it to. No! Oh my god! Alright, let's do this, shall we? Let's just get him down. And get that roll catch. Now, I don't believe it affects the questline whatsoever if you kill that guy after he kills Yura. I don't think if Yura dies, it affects what happens at all. But we get the Raptor of the Mists. This is probably one of the easiest weapon arts to miss in the entire game, because not everybody will pay attention and see, or what, I think it's a, hold on, here it is. So this thing, Raptor of the Mist, stuck into a low stance, momentarily vanishing. If an enemy attack connects, avian wings will allow for a quick step into the air, usable on all melee armaments. So this is like a counter / parry type ability, and it's really hard to pull off. Like, you have to know the timing of, well, we didn't even get the grace. Damn. You have to know the timing of the attack before you use something like that. So just know that if you saw him using it repeatedly, but and Yura fell for it like nothing, like 4 times in a row. And then I always rested the grace to see if Yura like pops up where his sign was or something. Here he is. There we go.
Wretched worms, leave me be.
He's so angry.
Oh, it's you. Thanks for your help there. That bloody finger was a thorn in my side. And now I'm finally rid of him. Here's a token of thanks. Please, take it.
And he gave us a tier 5 stone.
I may not have much time. I'm dying to see you. Eleonora. Violet Bloody Finger.
Alright, so Eleonora is a Bloody Finger that's going to invade us at the Second Church of America later on in the game. She's pretty hard, but he has some kind of involvement with her.
Yes, I've been tracking Eleonora for quite some time. She is the deadliest of all Bloody Fingers. She's felled many an old hand already, but in spite of her cessblood zealotry, Eleonora is a proud knight. If she comes for you, do not think twice. You must flee. There is no shame in self-preservation.
I ain't no bitch, dude. These hands are rated E for everybody. Tell her to come.
Be on your way. Perhaps we will meet again, if fate permits.
It will permit, I promise. Okay, so that's our little piece of Yura's quest line furthered, and rightfully so, because he's got a pretty interesting quest. Now, there are some wolves on the way here. You don't have to fight them, because they'll probably lose aggro by the time you get down to the merchant. But, I don't know, I tend to smack them anyway, just to make sure, because if they kill him, you have to waste your time and your materials to bring him back. And they only take 1 hit to kill. It's like, why not, right? Is there another one? Aha! God, these dudes are just taking a nap, and then here I come, like, ruining their day completely. Really? Where are you? Jeez. Why did you make that unnecessarily difficult? Could have just died. Okay, here we go. Let's run all the way down to the bottom here first, though. Which, even though it's very important for us to talk to him, this is also important to grab. Strip white flesh. Because you're not going to find too many of these across the playthrough, and we just want to make sure we get it. And then we get to deal with this. How did he not... Whatever. Oh, shit. Never mind. It's not a free backstab. I thought it was. Alright, so we already know how to deal with these guys. They're pretty damn easy. It's just him dropping down out of nowhere that might throw somebody off, you know? Then we get our first Celestial Dew of the playthrough, I think. And then, no, there's no going through here. There's no prompt to get through. That is just one of the entrances to the manor. This is the south side where we got in. Let's take a look at the item we got. I think it's the first one anyway. Yes, it is. Celestial Dew. So this is one thing that we could have bought from the NPC that we found in the Carian Manor. A hidden tear found in the Eternal City, also known as a night tear, allows one to carry out an absolution at the Church of Vows, reversing all antagonizations. Once upon a time, the stars of the night sky guided fate, and this is a recollection of those times. So, you go to the Church of Vows and say you piss off an NPC, like you attack a merchant for some reason, or if you aggro, like Blight or something like that, if you do his questline wrong, you can essentially go to the Church of Vows and say, by the power of the stars, I command you to forgive me. And they will.
Well, it's been an age since I've seen a customer. How can I help?
Yeah, because you're so hidden.
At the end of the earth.
So first and foremost, I'm supposed to say hello to you. I actually have a friend over at the beginning of the lake, and they mentioned that you also like coffee. So good on you for that, and he says hello. So bam, just like that, we now have access to several things that are important to us. This one we want for sure. This is the most important. We can make sleep stuff now. But you can also buy the blue cloth stuff, which is the starting set of the hero, I believe. This is the nomadic warrior stuff, is the way it's described. Vest of a nomadic warrior, the blue color of its fabric symbolizes brisk waters, as fluid and flowing as the sword in the hand of its wearer. Pretty cool. You can also buy sacrificial twigs here, and then he also has an array of notes, and you guys know how much I like purchasing information. So this one is the Preceptor's Secret. A note sold by a nomadic merchant contains information about the Preceptor's secret, so let's buy that. And this one is about revenants. This is going to tell you exactly what I already know, is that they can be damaged by holy damage or healing. And then the Frenzied Flame Village. We already know about that too, but let's get it anyway just so we can read them.
Safe journey.
Thanks, man. You too. Drink plenty of coffee. So let's look at these, shall we? The Frenzied Flame Village. South of the Grand Lift of Dectus lies the Frenzied Flame Village, inhabited by the sick. Stay well away. So this is the Grand Lift of Dectus, right? And if you go south here, keep going down, that's where we're going to find that village. That's the part, you know, damn it. I'm really glad that I remembered to go buy these notes from this guy. I'm glad we did this, because this is what I needed to remember to know that we have one thing left. I was scratching my head before thinking there's one more thing other than Deathrite Bird that I needed to do to truly finish Liurnia to the best of our ability before doing Raya Lucaria. And it's that. Like, literally, right inside here, there is the Frenzied Flame Village. A lot of people like to call it the Eye of Sauron, which totally looks like that. We're going to go deal with that before we do Raya Lucaria. I'm really glad that we found the note to remind me. And then this one, where is it? Revenants, there we go. The crawling royal revenants of their followers are all cursed. Healing powers will harm rather than mend, just like I mentioned. And then, where's the other one? The Preceptor's Secret. Okay. The Preceptor Celavus is hiding a dirty secret in a cellar among the ruins not far from the Sisters 3. The vile Graven Witch seems to be a frequent visitor to that place. So the Graven Witch is referring to Ranni. So there's our information. And we can finally make sleep bolts. So frost ones, sleep ones. We have so many lilies, and we have the ability to buy beast bones from our merchant at the Round Table Hold. So let's do that, shall we? So the Round Table Hold should be a good place to end this episode as well. So let's go be useful, shall we? We're going to buy some thin animal bones, just so we don't have to kill countless animals to get them. We don't have any bell bearings to offer. That's fine. Let's buy, like, let's say 20. 3,000 runes. It's a fair price. And let's do this. It's okay if we make a shit ton of these now, because let's see, one set of these creates 10. So we have 55 lilies, and I want to reserve some of those for sleep pots because we want to experiment with that too. So let's do this. Use up all of our bones, and even though it said it exceeds the amount that we can carry, we're holding 99 of them. You can see there where it says stored, it says 31. So that works for me. We have 99 of these things to burn through, and we're not going to use them constantly. They're purely for experimentation, not for cheesing necessarily. I don't think they're going to be incorporated into how I actually progress through the game. But I do want to try to take note of nothing new, okay? Fuck your table, man. Yeah, that's right. And your chair. What are you reading? What are you spending so much time reading through all the time? Damn, your eyesight must suck if you have to be that close to read that. So it's not actually legible. I was wondering if you'd actually be able to read what's in front of him, but I guess not. Alright, Gideon. So, yeah, we have 99 bolts on us. I can unequip those. Put these in the main hand for pulling. Put these in the offhand for experimenting with sleep. And we have 31 of them in the bank that we can use to refill our stock should we run out of the 99 that we have. And hopefully that won't be the case, because Caria is one place I'm going to experiment with that stuff. But, alright, that's going to do it for this episode of the in-depth playthrough of Elden Ring. Next time we're going to go and do the Frenzied Flame Village, and it's pretty straightforward. It's really easy. There's kind of a difficult invader there, but I think we should be able to handle him. It'll be okay. So, I've been your faithful host, Let's Play Dark Souls HD. Thanks for joining me. I hope you guys are having an excellent weekend, and I will catch all of you guys in the next video.